Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Neca Ultimate Beetlejuice Bio-Exorcist. This is from the first film, when he was in that big sort of model display thing. This has been popping up at Walmart so far, that's where I got him. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see, Beetlejuice, the Bio-Exorcist, Beetlejuice. Troubled by the living? Is death a problem and not a solution? Unhappy with eternity? Having difficulty adjusting? Speak my name 3 times. Call, residential, commercial. Beetlejuice. Ultimate Beetlejuice. Sort of an advertisement for Beetlejuice's services. One side of the package, here he is posed up. Ultimate Beetlejuice Bio-Exorcist. The other side, here he is with some different display options. I see a rat, his little sort of taxi cab hat. On the back side, we have the figure, a bunch of different accessories, a bunch of different display options. At the bottom, there's his barcode, if that helps anybody. This is a Neca Ultimate figure, window box packaging. You can hear the Velcro as I open it up. On the inside flap, here's the figure posed up, arms spread out, floating in the air. And then here's the actual figure with all of his accessories laid out. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that we got this figure out of the package, here he is with all of his accessories laid out. He comes with 4 alternate hands, totaling 6 interchangeable hands, 2 different heads. One of the heads has 3 different faces, giving you 4 different looks. He has a lantern, a rat, a newspaper, and then a little advertisement for Beetlejuice. Before I take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Beetlejuice from Beetlejuice, played by Michael Keaton. This is the first Ultimate Beetlejuice and the first new Beetlejuice they've released in about 20 years. Now it doesn't seem like they're going to be doing any figures from Beetlejuice 2, or I imagine they would have already put them out. The movie's been out for a little while now, but it's pretty cool to expand the original line. Some of those figures they made were quite a bit dated, kind of weak on articulation. This guy is a true Neca Ultimate. I believe this is Beetlejuice's sort of first appearance look in the film, so let's take a closer look. Starting with his face, he's got that Michael Keaton look to him. Looks like right now his mouth is open, he's sort of saying something, he's got some side eyes going on. Oof, I can just totally see this guy speaking Michael Keaton's voice right now. The likeness is pretty damn good. I think it's the likeness, maybe it's just the image overall with the hair, the white makeup, the darkness around the eyes, a little moldy stuff around his mouth. It looks really good. This is very specific look from when he was wearing this outfit and sort of saying stuff to the recently deceased couple. He's got this, I don't know, sort of Hawaiian shirt. He's got nasty sort of moldy stuff all over his neck and chest. Big sort of trench coat thing. Does look like it's single jointed elbows as well as single jointed knees. He does have a sculpted stomach underneath there, and it does have articulation if you go up high enough. He has mismatched shoes, just sort of a slob. It looks like a dress shoe and a tennis shoe, mismatched socks as well. Detailing is pretty nice, I would say. Before even digging in deep, this is probably my favorite Beetlejuice figure of the Neca ones. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, which I think they did an excellent job on. I think it resembles Michael Keaton and Beetlejuice. And then, here's the figure broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, starting off with his hands. He has a total of 6 hands, 2 left hands, and 4 right hands. Here he is with his first set of hands. These are some completely flat, outstretched hands. They'd be good if he's sort of waving his arms up in the air, sort of showing off what's behind him. And here's his second pair of hands. This is a pair of gripping hands. And he has 2 additional right hands. This one is a pointing hand. And here's his final right hand. This looks like sort of a pinching hand, probably intended to hold the newspaper. Now let's look at his heads and faces. He has a total of 2 heads, and one of which has 3 different faces, giving him 4 different distinct looks. Here's a look at his first head and face. This is the one that came with in the package. He's got the side eyes going on, and his mouth is open. And here's his second head. Eyes are looking straight at you. His mouth a little bit open Almost looks like maybe he's grunting a little bit. And here's his third different face. This one has an angry expression. And in case you were curious how it looks without any faces on, this is how he looks. And it looks pretty weird. It's a head with just hair, a couple pegs, and some white ears in the back there. Now I did notice something kind of interesting on these faces. The face itself has 3 or 4 different sort of holes there. It only really needs the 2 to connect. So that makes me think these faces are probably going to be interchangeable with the Ultimate Beetlejuice. It's going to come with the diorama piece. That one I believe is in the same outfit, but has the spikes coming off. So I think these 2 figures are probably meant to enhance each other. Either that, or they just put all these extra holes on there for absolutely no reason whatsoever. I don't know. Just kind of interesting. And here's his whole other head. He has a sort of taxi cab looking hat. It says guide. I mean, he's supposed to be their guide to the afterlife. And it looks like I was wrong about those faces, because this face also comes off. And so you will be able to interchange any of these faces with the different heads. Now that still doesn't explain the 3rd hole on the back of the head, as there's only 2 pegs here. So that is a little bit odd, and still makes me think that they're going to work with the upcoming Ultimate Beetlejuice with the diorama piece. The way the faces work is pretty good. You can see the sort of line where the face connects to the hair. It's not very noticeable, but once you see it, it's kind of hard not to see it. You can see kind of moving the face a little bit. But like I said, if you're not looking for it, you'd probably never notice it. Now to look at the newspaper and the advertisement for Beetlejuice. So this small little piece of paper. It says, Beetlejuice Bio-Exorcist, say his name 3 times. Beetlejuice, 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 or Beetlejuice. And then we have this newspaper, which has a lot of cool little features. You see at the top here, it's the afterlife. Sandworm incidents increased 13% up from last year. Ectoplasm leak at plant number 9. Exorcism rate soars. Opens up. Seance success contingent on nuptials between mismatched pair. Calypso music making a big comeback. Feeling strange and unusual, you're not alone. Fashion, stripes of the new black. She left me at the altar, I was carried away. You can see the couple that died in the film. And on the back, even more stuff. And that little advertisement for Beetlejuice. Here's Beetlejuice holding the little advertisement for himself. And here he is holding and reading that newspaper. And he has 2 final accessories. We have his lantern and a rat. The lantern, the sculpt is pretty good. You can see a little flame inside of there. This area is not hinged, 0 articulation. And then we have this rat. It's simply a rat. It doesn't seem to be too large, not too small, and it's got a super long rat tail. Here's a look at Beetlejuice holding that rat. And here he is holding that lantern. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure and its accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing about 7.1 inches tall, which can translate to 18 centimeters. And for his articulation, starting with his head, of course, he can rotate side to side. He can look up and down about that far. Can tilt his head at least a little bit from side to side. Not very much, the hair kind of obstructs that. Shoulders, on a ball joint, goes up about 90 degrees. Up, down, around. He's got a single jointed elbow. Goes in a tiny bit more than 90 degrees, pretty much a 90-degree bend. With rotation, his wrist can rotate, and it's hinged as well. In his torso, he does have a ball joint right around here. Although, I'm not getting a lot of use out of that thing. He does another one in his waist. Rotate around, forward and back, barely. Legs. Complete as a splits. Ball joints inside of there. The legs, they can rotate independently of the ball joint. Then go forward. I don't know, about that far. Back not much. He's got a single jointed knee with rotation. And then his ankle. Forward and back. Tilt rock. Looks like no traditional rotation. That's going to be in the knee. Here's a look at Beetlejuice standing in front of the background that came in the interior of the package. And here he is, standing in front of a model tree and moonlight backdrop. Now let's check him out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Beetlejuice and Michael Keaton figures. Here's this Ultimate Bio-Exorcist Beetlejuice next to the black and white striped version. A lot of people consider the black and white striped version the main look, and I kind of do too, but it wasn't the first look he had. That would be the Bio-Exorcist, and honestly, he only wore the black and white stripes for a little while in the film, but I consider it his main look, and I wish Neca would do an ultimate version of that guy. This is the re-release from the version they made about 20 years ago with no updated articulation whatsoever, and here he is, next to the brown suit till death do us part Beetlejuice. This is from the very end of the film, and just like the other one, this is a re-release from almost 20 years ago with no updated articulation. So here are all the different Beetlejuice figures that Neca has made so far. We have 3 completely different looks. There is a 4th one coming out soon that is an ultimate one that I believe is pretty much in the exact same outfit as the Bio-Exorcist version, except I think he has spikes out of him and he comes with a diorama. That's a Neca store exclusive. Looking forward to that diorama. I noticed this earlier, but I'm really surprised that Neca doesn't seem to be making any figures from Beetlejuice 2 in any way, shape, or form. I figured they would at least make a few different versions of Beetlejuice, at least one version of Beetlejuice. I don't know, maybe the likeness rights were a little more complicated with the second film, but it seems like Michael Keaton's willing to make figures, because here there are 3 of them right in front of you, but specifically from the first film. Here's this Neca Michael Keaton Beetlejuice, next to Neca's Michael Keaton Batman from the 1989 film, and Neca made 3 different versions of the Michael Keaton Batman, video game version, movie version, and Kenner homage version. And here he is, with Mike McFarlane DC Multiverse Michael Keaton Batman figures, some from the 89 film, some from the Flash movie, then with the Mezco 112 Collective Michael Keaton Batman, and now with a couple of SH Figure Arts Michael Keaton Batman figures. So here are all my different 6 and 7 inch scale Michael Keaton figures. I have 13 of them, 3 are Beetlejuice, and then 10 are Batman. Now the next Michael Keaton figure I anticipate getting is going to be the McFarlane DC Multiverse Michael Keaton Batman with the gliding cape, and then probably after that, the Neca Ultimate Beetlejuice that comes with the diorama. Now let's check him out next to some other Neca horror figures. Here he is with some classic Neca horror figures. These are Universal monsters: Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and the Mummy. And here, with some more modern horror icons: Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and Ghostface. Here are my most recent Neca figures. We have the Neca 50th Anniversary Leatherface. We have this Ultimate Beetlejuice Bio-Exorcist figure, and then the Ultimate Ardith Bay from the Mummy. Now let's check him out next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix them with. Since he's a Neca figure, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his Neca brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from Neca Toys, all 7-inch scale, and now with some Jack-specific wrestling figures and some Diamond Select toys. Here he is next to a bag of Burger King. You can even see the grease stains on the outside. And here he is with some McFarlane and DC Direct figures. Then with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally with some SH Figure Arts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a really cool Beetlejuice figure. The articulation is much better than the older figures. This is a true ultimate figure. The likeness is fantastic. It looks just like Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice from the film. He's got the big fat belly, mismatched shoes, tons of accessories. It's a really good release. Articulation's pretty good. It is seal jointed knees and elbows, but Beetlejuice wasn't really doing anything you needed him to be super articulated for. Sure, the more articulation the better, but sometimes it comes at a price looking worse. His accessories are fantastic. Sculpt and paint job are also excellent. If I were to rate this figure, I think he deserves a solid 8.5 out of 10, which is a very high rating in my book for a very nice release. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate if you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.